What is up, YouTube? Welcome to this review of Firewatch. So, if you don't know what it's about, you have moved to the wilds of Wyoming and are now a fire watcher guy thingamabob guy. Yep, you essentially watch fires and make sure they don't go spirally out of control like we've seen on the news in California. So that's it? No, it's not. Initially I thought the game would be just spotting fires, etc. But what it turns out to be is essentially a kind of walking simulator in the same vein of Go Home, Dear Esther, or Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. And it kind of tells its tale as you progress through the woods and the wilds and do various tasks that you are given by a mysterious woman called Delilah. She is your friend and confidant. You start off and you pretty much don't know anything. You are told that these are your tasks, go through and do them. As we progress, we have to stop some teens who are laying off fireworks in a very dry, dense forest, which is a pretty freaking stupid idea. And then you have to go through and scare them, which made me think of a kind of Jason Voorhees type situation. You are slowly and surely spooked by a mysterious figure who is following you around and ends up somehow knowing what you're discussing with your confidant Delilah. So that's pretty much it. That's the whole game. I won't give you any spoilers in it, however, but it does have that kind of mysterious arc that Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and Gone Home has, where you are presented a very mysterious kind of situation, a intriguing storyline. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually come to fruition, and I found myself wanting and lacking at the end, because the story didn't pan out how I expected it to be. There was a big swerve because you thought it would go one way and it went completely the other, which I guess it is my own fault for expecting something, but I would have preferred a more mysterious twist at the end, but it was a very simple ending. However, I won't tell you, as I said, what actually happens, but overall, it is a very good game. It's a lot of fun. I don't think you will enjoy it if you are more into a kind of more active game, whereas you're not just following around and following a set path, which is a good thing in this one, because unlike Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and Gone Home, you pretty much are on a rail throughout the whole of your experience. You can change the dialogue a bit, you can piss off Delilah and she doesn't talk to you for a bit, but in essence that is really it. You are just following from A to B. There's a lot of backtracking, which I found got a bit boring, but you are presented with some chatter from your friend, and the story is progressed, and backstory of both of you is kind of explored, which makes the dull walking back a bit more bearable. As I said, if you are more into kind of your Destiny or your Call of Duty, or maybe even Metal Gear Solid, anything that has a lot of action or just general more gameplay, because there isn't a lot of gameplay in this. It is just walking around. There isn't really any kind of replayability in it. Once you're done, you're done. I had all the trophies. It took me about, I'd say, about 4 or 5 hours to do. And, well, there's no collectibles at all either. So that's pretty much it for that. It is the better of the walking simulators that I've played, because the other ones, as I said, aren't really on rails and you can get lost easily, and it gets a bit boring having to walk around and find things and look for clues, which can be a bit of a pain when they are really not obvious at all, and unless you're actually actively knowing what you're looking for, you aren't going to find them. But this one is, I would say, more of an experience. It's made by people who worked on the Telltale games, so it is very reminiscent of that, because those games, unless you're playing the very early kind of Back to the Future or Walking Dead ones, you aren't going to really miss anything or have any trouble playing the game straight through in one sitting, which is pretty similar to Firewatch, because you aren't going to have to search for anything really. And like I said, you are on rails for the most of the game. So I really enjoyed it. It is very good, and it is an experience, but it's a bit rich at £15. That is quite a lot for little gameplay, I think. However, The scenery is amazing. You can take pictures on your little kind of old school disposable camera, which I remember from back in the day. So there is a lot of kind of nice scenery to look at. It's a very, very gorgeous game. I did notice there was quite a lot of frame rate dips in the game, mostly when you are coming out into the big, wide open areas, and sometimes when it gets a bit darker in the game, the pop-in on the textures is a bit off. But it didn't really put me off the game, and it's not very action heavy, so it really wasn't that intrusive. And I think if you are on the fence about it, then I would probably check out my Let's Plays if you want. I've got some coming up. There's part 1 up now. And probably wait till PlayStation Plus, or just pick it up, because you are going to have one hell of an experience. And like other people say that it is about kind of the experience that you have, not the monetary value. But with games costing a lot these days, well, I'm not so sure. But I think it is a stunning game. I really, really enjoyed it, and I would like other people to check it out too. So let me know what you think in the comments, hit that like and subscribe, and goodbye.